What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And guys, today we got to be talking about Barcelona's October schedule because, guys, we have Real Madrid, we have Bayern Munich, we have Sevilla, we have some big games. And guys, I'm going to talk about how HANSI Flick and the players got to prepare. So first, like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't. Road to 500 subs, and let's get into this video. So the first thing I want to say is that HANSI Flick, he's been working his magic. He's doing his thing, his system, we're seeing the fruitions of it. Everybody's playing well. Almost everybody, besides probably Ferran, everybody's improved. Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Robert Lewandowski, Pedri, everybody, the players coming back from injuries. Like, I can't wait to see them. And Hansi Flick, we got some wingers. We got a good attack. This is the best Barcelona attack we've seen in years. And, I'm just kind of, big games are kind of supposed to be nervous, but in a way, the way we're playing, Hansi Flick's kind of making me kind of excited, curious. What's going to happen against Bayern? What's going to happen against Real Madrid? And can we put these teams to the sword, with Hansi Flick's system, And the next thing I want to say is that Lamine Yamal and our big players need to perform. Simple as that. Simply put, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, these guys, Robert Lewandowski, these guys need to show up, In big games in the previous years, I look at Rafinha, in his first year, he wasn't really doing all that, especially in the UCL, and then also Robert Lewandowski in El Clasicos have been, he's been kind of underwhelming. I think he only has like 2 El Clasico goals in 8 matches or something like that. And Robert Lewandowski in El Clasico, we're probably going to need a goal or 2, to be honest. And Rafinha, he's done better. PSG, he was good. I know he's gotten some assists against Real Madrid. But guys, we're going to need Lamine Yamal, Robert Lewandowski, and Rafinha to fire. The way that they're dispatching Valladolid and all these teams like Getafe, all these teams, Villarreal, young boys. We need to see this against Bayern Munich and also Sevilla, obviously, but most importantly against Real Madrid, in my opinion. Because, guys, the next thing I want to say is that this week in a way, it won't make or break our season, but it will probably decide the first half of it. Are we going to be chasing points? Is there going to be a real race in La Liga? Because, guys, if we win against Real Madrid, assuming that they win their game, their first game, like we win against Sevilla, then they win their game on that match week. And then, if we beat Real Madrid, we could be 6 points clear, guys. That would be huge. And if we lose, they might be level. And in the Champions League, guys, if Robert Lewandowski, let's say he has a bad game against his former club in Bayern, we can have a tough start to the Champions League. We might not qualify in the top 8. We might have to go through that extra round, and we don't want that because that's extra games. And the next thing I want to talk about is that Hansi Flick, you have to start Wojciech Szczesny over Inaki Peña. We made the signing for a reason. Jan Laporta, Deco, they went out. They got the right option, in my opinion, with the free agents, that were available. And Wojciech Szczesny, this guy, he's not a bum, he just recently retired. Laporta and Flick, they're seeing that he's played at Juve and Arsenal, big clubs. These guys, they also use Arsenal. They use a ball-playing goalkeeper. And Wojciech Szczesny, he's an experienced goalie. I've seen this guy save a Messi penalty, and I've seen him in Juve for some time, win a couple of Serie A titles, as one of the best goalies in the league with Alisson at the time when he was at Roma. And in my opinion, Wojciech Szczesny, he must start over Inaki Peña. And Inaki Peña, even when we're playing good, the whole team's playing well, Inaki Peña still looks shaky. And in my opinion, I do not want to see Inaki Peña make a dumb mistake. I know Wojciech Szczesny, some people must think that he might be rusty. Okay, at most, play Inaki Peña against Sevilla, but against Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, Play Wojciech Szczesny, and it goes back to the point. Then why would you even play Inaki Peña? Wouldn't you want Szczesny to get some rhythm against Sevilla? And that's what I would do, Because, guys, we're going to be playing against Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, Rodrigo, Kane, Sane, Musiala, all these guys, Gnabry, Matisse Tell. There's so many guys we're going to be playing against. Top attackers, top midfielders. Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are no joke, and we need a goalkeeper that can bail us out. And in my opinion, Wojciech Szczesny is the guy. And in my opinion, look no further than Thibaut Courtois for Real Madrid, especially in the UEFA Champions League. Wojciech Szczesny, we've seen him ball out in the World Cup, saving Messi's penalty. Not only that, winning Serie A titles. He was a starter for Arsenal, I think, after Petr Cech. And then even, he's had big games, even in the UCL for Poland. This guy's experienced. I would rather trust him than Inaki Pena, who we see time and time again make mistakes. And Thibaut Courtois, I said look no further, than him for a reason, because think about it. Thibaut Courtois, time and time, he bails out Real Madrid when they should get eliminated. Let's be honest. And, he just does it like it's routine. And hopefully, Szczesny, he can be like a cult hero, like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, like Luke de Jong, all these guys, Paulinho, who played for a short period of time, but they made their name and impact at FC Barcelona. Hopefully, he's next up. But the next thing I want to say, the third thing for today, is that Casado, yes, Casado and Pedri should be our double pivot in these big games, because Casado, not Frankie de Jong, not Gavi, not Fermin Lopez. Casado has been absolutely brilliant this season. He's been healthy and he's been balling. And Pedri and Casado, it probably has the most balance. If we play Pedri and Frankie de Jong, the defensive balance is going to look so off. And Casado, he runs, he has that Gavi passion for Barcelona. And, I just want to see Casado in these big games. I feel like it's more safe and comforting. And we already have so much attacking star power. We don't need to play Frankie de Jong. It's not the right decision. And honestly, for the balance of the team, this is what we should do. And the next thing I want to say is that Frankie de Jong eases his way in, but honestly, Frankie de Jong should kind of be rotational for until the next international break after November. I feel like then he could be a starter again, but he has to prove his point. I've seen a lot of fans saying Casado should be a starter. I'm not saying a unanimous starter, but I'm saying Casado should be a starter. He should be allowed to have, the next 5 games starting, especially the big games, because Frankie de Jong simply hasn't been here and he has to ramp it up. We need to see actual game footage, of Frankie de Jong off the bench balling out, to make some competition. And this is what we wanted. We always wanted midfield competition. And guys, look at who's coming back from injury, Fermin Lopez, Gavi, Dani Olmo. These guys are all amazing. Frankie de Jong, I already said. These guys are absolute ballers, and I can't wait to see Fermin Lopez and Dani Olmo for the attacking rhythm also, because that's 2 more goal threats that we're going to see. And I hope HANSI Flick, integrates them into the team. And Gavi, the return of Gavi. Guys, it's been so long. I just can't wait to see Gavi, just get some yellow cards and tackle some players. But guys, HANSI Flick, he's got a job to do, and partly is on him, partly is not. Some of it is obviously on the players, like turning up. Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, turn up. You know what I'm saying? This is the moment. Seize the moment. You know what I'm saying? Vinicius Jr., he did that. Now he's in the conversation for Ballon d'Ors. He's probably going to win it, let's be honest. And, Hansi Flick, start Inaki Pena. Nah, don't do that. Come on, start Wojciech Szczesny. And the next thing I want to say is that this week could be like the first bridge that we need to cross to winning these trophies, the Champions League and La Liga especially, because, Copa del Rey, I don't think it started yet, and it's going to start later in the weeks. But guys, Champions League, this is a huge week for us, in my opinion, and it's going to probably determine the fate for what are we going to do. Are we going to be catching up points, or are we going to be in a good position? And the next thing I want to say is that for La Liga, it's huge. This might be the separation, or we might be in a dogfight. And, separation will be so huge. We want to rest our players later into the season, in the business time. But guys, Robert Lewandowski, Hansi Flick, Lamine Yamal, all the boys, just do something, play some good football, and get the results. This honestly is a results week, and guys, we got to get them. But guys, that's it for me today. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't. Road to 500 subs. Yes, 500, half of 1K. And guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.